Hey guys, Janaé Monette here. I'm coming back. I'm live with the sleek ponytail. I started the beginning of this video just because I wanted to talk to you guys about what I'm going to be using. I shampooed Chrissy off of camera. You guys know I have a video called The Foundation where you can reference to if you need to know how to properly shampoo and condition the hair. So Chrissy has a lot of damage, as you guys can see. I use a Beta Brilliant Damage Control leave-in to protect her hair from the heat, and I am just going to do a pre-dry, and I'm going to do this until her hair is pretty much 80% dry because she has so much stringy ends. I don't want to overwork the hair. I'm going to take my brush. This is on our website, janaemonette.com. This is our new item called brush, and it really helps with smoothing the hair while you blow dry. It's a multi-purpose brush. It's also great for detangling, and as you can see, it's really helping me to get through Chrissy's blow dry, and it's heat durable, so it's not burning while I'm blow drying her hair. So I'm just going to have her place her hair down, and pretty much this is repetitive. I'm going to blow dry the whole head, getting most of the water out so I don't have to overwork the hair. So at this point, I'm just taking all of her hair around the perimeter, and I'm starting to just collapse the roots. My heat is on 380. I do not want high heat. Her hair is already soft. I don't need a lot of heat to press her hair. And right now, I'm just going to collapse the roots with the flat iron all over her head, just because with the sleek ponytail, sometimes, just coming straight out of a blow dryer is not good enough. So you do have to sometimes take the hair and straighten it, but I don't want to cause any more damage that she already has. So I'm just going to go to her roots, to her mid shaft, not all the way to her ends where you see that she has most of the damage at. Another thing I want you guys to do is to start taking vitamins. We are coming out of a pandemic. We're kind of still in a pandemic, and COVID, a lot of my clients or people in general are just having a lot of breakage from COVID, from being in the house so much, hormonal changes and diet changes. Everything drastically changed when you're in a pandemic. So if you could pick you up some vitamin D, talk to your doctors, get your levels checked. It is very important to know if you're deficient in anything. And change your diet. A lot of people need to drink more water. A lot of people need to add more greens to their diet. It could be a number of things. So make sure you guys consult with your doctors about what your blood work is looking like. And if you are stressed, keep your stress levels down as much as possible. Stress breaks the hair off instantly. So I am going to start pressing the sides. I am going to start doing her edges where I can do them at while I'm pressing. The edges are very important, guys. I can't express this enough. So now I'm just going to take my brush. Again, you can find this on our website. And I'm going to start to gather her hair up into a ponytail so I can prepare for our ponytail. I'm going to also take this flat iron and I'm going to start to curl the baby hairs because we want those to lay. And some women just like their dramatic baby hair look. I don't. I try to make you look like a grown baby, if that makes any sense. Like not baby hairs, but like just grown baby hair. But this is how I curl her hair. This is how it should look on the outside. And those duck bills really help with just getting the broken pieces to stay out of my way. So now I'm just going to split the hair in half. I'm going to split it from ear to ear, and then I'm going to take the top half and split that in half. Why I'm doing this is because I love to be organized. I'm going to be using Murray's the hard wax, not the light series, but I like to be organized in my ponytails. And I am a sculptor, so I like to sculpt and I like to have structure when I'm doing hair. So that's what you guys are going to be seeing me do. Plus, I'm establishing where I want my ponytail at. Now, keep in mind that all the hair that is on the edges, I am not going to pull back into the ponytail. That is going to be the last hair that I touch. This helps the ponytail to last. This helps me to control the hair. This helps me to get the look that I'm going for. And sometimes with this product, guys, it is a wax. So when you take this out, you're definitely going to need to detoxify your hair. You may need to use something with like tea tree in there or whatever, but you definitely are going to need to detox the hair. And I'm not overly using the Murray's, right? I'm just using enough to have control, but I'm not overusing it, because if you overuse the Murray's, it'll leave residue in the hair, and it doesn't matter how many times you wash it. It just takes a really long time to get it out. And you don't see me using it all over. You just see me using it right up there in that root area, because that's where I want to have the most control, because that's what's going to be the sleekest part. Everything else is going to be into the ponytail. And so yeah, I'm pretty much going to be doing the same thing at the top of the head all over, just taking slices, putting a little bit of Murray's in there for control, and sculpting. Remember, structure is important. I always work with a method. It's very important that you have a method before you do anything. I don't want it too high. I'm not going for a genie look. I want it to look more natural. Even though it's going to be super duper long, I still want it to be natural looking. That I did to the front, I'm going to go do to the back. I'm going to take slices, use the Murray's, and I'm just going to work the parts that I put in the head out of the head. So you shouldn't see any parts. You should be able to manipulate the hair to just all look like one ponytail. So that's what I'm doing here. Still am doing the same sculpting to bring the hair all up into one ponytail. But because her hair is a little shorter in the nape, I'm going to use a little bit of Got to Be freeze spray just to make sure that the hair doesn't come back out of the ponytail. Also too, it is very important to put your client's head down to make sure that the ponytail isn't going to be too tight when they go to bend their hair down, and so they won't have excess breakage in the back of the nape area back here. So that's why I'm standing in front of the client and gathering the hair this way, just to make sure that it's not going to be too tight around that nape area. Yes, guys, you see here, this is a rubber band too. I am using thick black rubber bands because they help the hair to sit up better. For when you wrap the hair around, it'll have a solid foundation. Here, I am just going to take my flat iron. A lot of people use barrel curlers for this part, but my flat irons are still hot. And like I said, I didn't overly use the Murrays. I just used enough of it. So I'm just going to take my flat irons here and just melt the wax. Here I'm just using some Got to Be freeze spray, just locking any flyaways in. Basically, I'm just securing a ponytail. If I see any flyaways, I'm just going to just take my blow dryer and just seal everything in. Okay, this is my stack method. I'm taking 2 extra rubber bands and stacking them over top of the rubber bands that I already have in her hair, just because I want a firm foundation to wrap my hair around at the end. So I'm just taking some extra rubber bands for some security. So after we get finished braiding her hair down for the extended ponytail, I put a rubber band at the end, and now I'm going to put Siennex around her hair just so I don't disrupt or disturb any of the hair that I already laid flat and sleek. So I'm taking a little bit of glue just to secure the Siennex so that it doesn't move to cover the rubber bands. And now for the extended ponytail, I'm going to take a separate piece of Siennex just so that it's able to move appropriately for when I wrap the hair around. So it should look just like this. Now I'm just going to take the 24 inches of hair. This is our Janaé Monette collection, and I'm going to put the glue on top of the Siennex. This is easy to wrap the hair so that you won't have to keep on stopping or the glue doesn't get stuck in here. If you just place the hair on the top of the Siennex and wrap the hair around, this makes the job so much easier. Also, pull your fingers through the hair because it is so long. I don't want it to get tangled. Okay guys, so here you want to make sure that you're pulling the width of the hair really tight. So this alleviates any bulkage, it alleviates any loose tracks. It really is important that you pull the width really tight, and it also creates a very sleek, natural looking ponytail. I'm going to bring this all the way to the top. I am also going to use a technique called heating up the width so that I can put a little bit of glue on the ends of the hair. and it'll secure the track so that I don't have to worry about drying the other glue that I put on the Siennex. It'll just dry this one piece of hair. I did have to add a half of bundle onto this simply because when the hair is longer, the bundles get thinner. So I did add another piece of bundle. This is only like a half a piece, and I'm pretty much going to do the same method. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much going to stop my wrapping method right here. I still want some of the Siennex to be exposed just because I don't want a bulky wraparound. So I'm going to heat this track up, and then I'm going to add some glue and stop it. And this is what it should look like. Some of the Siennex should definitely still be exposed. So here I just have a piece of 613, and like I said, I wanted to get really creative. I keep seeing all of these little strip pieces of hair on Instagram, so I wanted to do a ponytail like that. And so I really use a lot of Gots to Be on this part. I'm just cutting a little bit of the flyaways off just because it doesn't have a weft attached to it. Some of the hair was flying off. You want to be careful and make sure you don't cut your client's hair. I had to cut it because I had to blend it with her hairline so that it looks exactly like it's growing out of her scalp, and it doesn't look fake. So that's why I had to cut some of it. And now I'm going to start to freeze it with the blow dryer. Me and her, we knew this was amazing what we just did here. It just looks so real. So I'm going to keep on spraying it because, like I said, I really don't want this thing to come out. I want it to be stiff and I don't want it to move. So you're going to see me kind of stroking, spraying, just so that I make sure that it's in place. Clip because I realize as I keep touching it, it's tagging to my fingers, and the more I use my finger, it's going to stick to my finger and it may lift. So I don't want to keep on holding it with my finger, so I'm going to use a duckbill clip here just to secure it, and a rat tail, the tip of my rat tail. I did use a little bit more Siennex, and I'm going to just have her hold over top of where the 613 is at with her fingers over top of the Siennex so that I can really be gentle with stroking these blind pieces into the black pieces so that it'll blend and it'll look very natural. So here is why I did not put the tracks over top of that Siennex right here, because of this part right here. When you're wrapping around, if I had taken all of those tracks and wrapped it before I wrapped this piece, it would have been very, very thick and bulky, and that's not the look I'm going for with this particular ponytail. So I did not cover that the Siennex part with tracks. I'm covering it with hair because it's going to give me a more natural look. I'm also taking my comb and Murray's and wrapping as I go along, simply because I want it to look very, 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 very sleek. I did use a little bit of hair glue to wrap the last end of the hair, just because I don't want it to move. But you can see I'm just taking Murray's and using my comb and wrapping it in place. Remember, this whole ponytail is about sculpting and being very, 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 very neat. Okay guys, so after I wrap that last part, I'm just going to use a little bit of Gots to Be and the blow dryer just to freeze everything in place. As you see here, I'm going to also start to press this ponytail out because it did kind of just get a little tangled from wrapping it. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for that pressing part. I did turn my heat up back to 450 when I press my hair out. With extensions, you can always turn your heat up to 450. I'm just going to also press that braid in just because it lifted a little bit as we were pressing. And now for the fun part, the edges. So this edge control that I'm using is Sweetie's. It almost puts me in a mind frame of Style Factor, but it just doesn't leave a white residue and it holds really well. It was only like $4.99 from my local beauty store. So yeah, I really liked it. And like I said, it lasts a really long time. I'm just going to do like half circles around the edges. And then I'm also going to do the back as well. Because remember, we curled those pieces. So you have to do the same thing. The same thing that you do to the front, you must do to the back. And there you have it. That, guys, is how I do my sleek ponytail. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.